Hello everyone and welcome back to the Iraqi Dinar News channel. Today we're diving into a story that feels almost unbelievable. A story that has investors, economists, and ordinary citizens talking non-stop. Imagine this. One United States dollar equals just 0.25 Iraqi dinar. Yes, you heard that right. For decades, the world has watched the dollar dominate global trade and currency markets. And now there's a scenario where the Iraqi dinar could surpass it, turning everything we thought we knew about currencies on its head. This idea seems impossible to many, yet for others it is long overdue. Today we will unpack this potential historic shift, explore the reasons behind it, and discuss what it could mean for Iraq, its citizens, and the world. Stay with us till the end, because this could change the way you view the future of money forever. The concept of $1 equaling only 0.25 Iraqi dinar is not just a number, it is a symbol of potential transformation. For many, it feels surreal to even imagine a world where the Iraqi dinar is stronger than the dollar. The dollar has long been the world's anchor currency, dominating trade, investments, and financial systems. But what if Iraq could leverage its natural wealth, strategic location, and young population to challenge this reality? Supporters of this vision argue that Iraq's resources, including oil, natural gas, agriculture, and trade potential, could allow such a dramatic shift. They see the number $1 equals 0.25 IQD not just as money, but as a reflection of national pride, financial independence, and long-awaited economic transformation. Economists and investors have begun to discuss this bold possibility openly. They envision a future where Iraq's currency could gain immense value if the right economic reforms are implemented. This isn't just about imagination, it's about strategic management of resources, banking systems, and international trade relations. A stronger dinar would impact wages, reduce the cost of imported goods, and empower families across Iraq. Citizens could hold more value in their paychecks, businesses could expand, and foreign investors would be drawn to the country's rising economic power. Even though it sounds far-fetched, the idea is gaining attention because the factors needed for growth already exist. Supporters often point to Iraq's oil reserves as a core driver of potential currency strength. The country holds one of the largest proven reserves in the world. And with proper management, these resources could fuel economic expansion. Beyond oil, Iraq also has vast natural gas fields, fertile agricultural land, and strategic trade links to neighboring countries. Investors argue that diversifying income streams and improving infrastructure could support the dinar's rise, making $1 equals 0.25 IQD a realistic long-term goal. The vision isn't just financial, it represents a historic leap for Iraq, signaling its ability to stand independently on the global stage. With a currency respected and valued worldwide, yet, skeptics warn against unrealistic expectations. They argue that Iraq still faces deep political divisions, corruption, and dependency on fluctuating oil prices. For these critics, building a stable, globally respected currency takes decades of disciplined policy, careful reforms, and consistent governance. A sudden leap to $1 equals 0.25 dinar would be extraordinarily difficult to sustain without foundational economic stability. These voices remind investors that hope alone cannot change the value of a currency. Nonetheless, even critics admit that the discussions themselves highlight Iraq's potential and the international interest in its economic future. Social media and online communities have become hotbeds for this conversation. People calculate what their personal holdings could be worth if the dinar strengthens, while others imagine Iraq emerging as a global economic powerhouse. The idea spreads quickly because it challenges conventional thinking about currency values. This fascination with $1 equaling just 0.25 IQD has become more than speculation. It is almost like a mantra of hope, Supporters argue that even if the shift takes years, the very discussion inspires citizens and investors to pay closer attention to Iraq's reforms and economic policies, one of the biggest drivers behind this discussion is Iraq's ongoing focus on financial modernization. The central bank has been quietly implementing systems to reduce cash circulation, encourage digital payments, and stabilize the banking system. These initiatives are critical for preparing the country for a potential currency revaluation. While the concept of deleting zeros from the dinar has floated around for years, renewed committee activity hints at serious planning. Experts within the central bank are studying ways to implement transformative monetary changes. For many, this is a signal that Iraq is actively preparing for a future where its currency could hold unprecedented value. The potential benefits of a stronger dinar extend far beyond economics. For ordinary citizens, a stronger currency could mean increased purchasing power, more affordable imports, and improved quality of life. Families would feel financial security with every paycheck, and businesses could expand faster thanks to increased domestic and international confidence. Foreign investors would be more willing to hold dinars and trade in Iraq, boosting foreign capital inflow. This would create a feedback loop where confidence builds upon itself, attracting more investment and reinforcing the currency's value. Internationally, the scenario of the dinar surpassing the dollar would create shockwaves across markets. The dollar has dominated global trade and finance for decades, serving as the anchor currency for most transactions worldwide. A reversal where $1 equals 0.25 IQD would be unprecedented. And while it may not happen immediately, even the discussion can influence investor behavior. Countries and corporations might rethink trade strategies, hedge currency risks differently, and pay closer attention to Iraq's economic policies. The world would suddenly see Iraq not just as a resource-rich nation, but as a player capable of redefining financial norms. Some historical context helps illustrate the potential for dramatic currency shifts. At one time, the British pound dominated global trade, only to be overtaken by the US dollar as the world reserve currency. Supporters of the dinar's rise argue that history has shown such unexpected changes are possible. Iraq, with its resources, young population, and strategic location at the crossroads of trade and energy, could potentially follow a similar path. This makes the conversation about $1 equals 0.25 IQD not merely fantasy, but a reflection of what some believe is achievable if reforms continue steadily and systematically. The excitement surrounding the potential rise of the dinar is fueled by more than numbers. It's fueled by imagination. Investors picture sudden wealth. Ordinary citizens imagine stronger wages. And policymakers dream of transforming Iraq's global image. This energy spreads quickly across communities, online platforms, and even within financial institutions. The idea of the dinar surpassing the dollar captivates people because it is bold, historic, and transformative, while caution remains important. The momentum of belief alone can shape public sentiment and attract more interest to Iraq's economic journey. A key element in this discussion is the central bank's role in shaping Iraq's financial future. Current reports indicate renewed activity within committees tasked with currency reforms. Experienced members have been reappointed to oversee potential projects, including the long-discussed deletion of zeros. This is not a casual meeting. It's a deliberate and strategic effort to prepare the financial system for modern challenges. While this does not confirm a revaluation, it does indicate that Iraq is serious about exploring ways to increase the dinar's international recognition and domestic stability. Deleting zeros from the currency is more than a cosmetic change, simplifies transactions, reduces inflation perception, and modernizes the currency system to align with global standards. By reducing the sheer volume of notes in circulation, Iraq can increase control over its economy and enhance financial stability. Supporters argue that such a move lays the groundwork for a stronger dinar. preparing citizens, businesses, and international partners for a future where the currency holds greater value. This is a crucial step if Iraq ever wants to approach the hypothetical $1 equals 0.25 dinar scenario. While the number itself is eye-catching, the broader implications are even more important. A stronger dinar would not only change financial dynamics within Iraq, but it would shift the country's geopolitical leverage. Trade partners would see Iraq as a more stable and valuable market. Investors would be more confident, and regional influence could grow. These cascading effects would be felt in banking, commerce, and international relations. For supporters, this represents a transformative moment, a chance for Iraq to redefine its place in the world. And the number $1 equals 0.25 IQD becomes a symbol of that aspiration. Critics continue to highlight the risks, reminding everyone that economic transformations require more than hope and resources. Political instability, reliance on oil, and corruption are serious challenges that cannot be ignored. They argue that a currency revaluation without solid foundations could create market chaos instead of prosperity. Yet even critics recognize that Iraq has a young, ambitious population, untapped potential in energy exports, and international attention on reforms. These elements create a platform that, if managed wisely, could one day support the kind of historic currency shift that seems unimaginable today. The energy and excitement surrounding the potential rise of the dinar cannot be understated. Across Iraq, ordinary citizens imagine improved livelihoods, higher wages, and greater purchasing power. International investors watch closely, calculating potential returns if the dinar strengthens. Online forums buzz with speculation, strategies, and predictions. The conversation itself is powerful because it keeps the idea alive, attracting attention, capital, and support for ongoing reforms, even if the full revaluation takes years or decades. The story of $1 equaling 0.25 IQD continues to inspire hope and focus on Iraq's economic potential. Technological advancements in Iraq's financial system are also critical. Digital banking platforms, mobile payments, and national card initiatives are gradually reducing dependency on cash. These steps are crucial for managing liquidity, reducing counterfeit risk, and modernizing the economy. Supporters argue that these developments are laying the groundwork for larger financial reforms, including currency revaluation. By preparing the infrastructure today, Iraq ensures that when a significant currency adjustment occurs, the economy can absorb it efficiently, maintaining stability and investor confidence. Global observers are also watching closely. Any movement toward a stronger dinar would impact international trade strategies and investment flows. Countries that trade heavily with Iraq could adjust pricing, contracts, and risk management strategies. Investors worldwide would pay close attention, potentially leading to increased foreign capital inflow. Even if the number $1 equals 0.25 IQD is not immediately achievable, the discussion itself signals that Iraq is on the radar of global markets, which could accelerate reforms and incentivize long-term planning for currency strengthening. The dream of a strong dinar resonates with Iraqi citizens at a personal level. People imagine financial independence, a stronger economy, and the ability to compete on the global stage. Families think about their purchasing power. Businesses consider expansion possibilities. And policymakers envision a stronger national economy. The number $1 equaling 0.25 IQD captures imagination because it represents hope, transformation, and the potential for historic change. Even skeptics cannot ignore the energy generated by this vision. It has become a focal point for discussions about Iraq's financial future. It's important to remember that the path to such a transformation is long and requires careful planning. Reforms in governance, banking, infrastructure, and energy management are essential. the central bank's efforts to modernize the currency, reduce cash circulation, and strengthen oversight are critical steps. Supporters argue that if Iraq continues on this trajectory, the dream of $1 equals 0.25 IQD could gradually become more plausible. The vision may seem impossible today, but history has shown that unexpected changes in global currency dominance are possible. In conclusion, the number $1 equals 0.25 Iraqi dinar is more than just a speculative idea, represents hope, imagination, and the possibility of historic economic change. The world is watching Iraq closely, investors are taking notice, and citizens are dreaming bigger than ever. While challenges remain, the steps being taken by the central bank and ongoing reforms provide a foundation for potential growth. Even if it takes years or decades, the conversation itself ensures that Iraq's currency story will remain at the forefront of global economic discussions. The dream continues, and for those watching closely, the possibilities are endless.